Welcome back, everybody. Happy Thursday, May 8th. We got some good Trump news, I guess, over the night, over last night. So, can this continue? Can we just break through this resistance above? I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out.
Yep, for that weekly candle close. Good morning, James. Good morning, everybody. This is the Tesla Tracker. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. It's a very exciting morning. A lot of stuff went up yesterday. Some stuff I managed not to chase, and I'm very happy for it. And other stuff that I'm looking to get in while it's still below the 23.6 or on the way to the 382. So yeah, let's get started. Go ahead, Matt. Do your thing.
Yes. So, even with this exciting news, I guess, is it exciting? I have no idea. But it's still resistance, guys. Still resistance. SPY, yes, stuck at the top of the cloud pre market, still not even back to the 50-week moving average. So this means I don't care about the news. I care about the chart, and I want the chart to break resistance because if it doesn't break resistance, it is still resistance, which means it has the potential to even fake us out up here and head back lower to retest support. So let's wait till tomorrow to get any kind of confirmation. Tomorrow is that weekly candle close. And so far we have none, right? SPY is still stuck. And QQQ, same situation. It did hold the cloud as support, so that's actually a good thing. But guess what? It is at pre-market right there. The 50-week moving average is at 489.38 and price is 489.98. But you know what? Tomorrow is that weekly candle close with even more resistance here at the 497. So again, similar situation. Yes, the news is positive, but there's a lot of positive news always at resistance. So that's when I'm always the most cautious because can't let the news trick you. Can't get overly excited. You got to wait for confirmation with the charts. And right now we don't have it. So be cautious still. This is also resistance. IWM, it is breaking above that 200-week moving average again, the 198.80, 198.68. So that's good. But this one was in a little bit of a different situation than the SPY and QQQ because it closed above major resistance last week, unlike them. So staying above it would make sense. So I think we'll just keep focusing on the 198.80. This kind of could signal more of a risk-on situation, perhaps good for crypto stuff, altcoins, Bitcoin miners, all that stuff as well. So we'll see, right? And also Coinbase reports earnings tonight, so that could be interesting for some price action as well. So overall, guys, yes, it's good news, but good news always often happens at resistance, and we have proven that SPY QQQ are still at resistance. So don't get excited just yet. Bitcoin, how is that developing? Well, we got our daily candle making a higher high. So this is a breakout, a break of structure, right? We get a higher high, but we are challenging previous wicks over here, and we can see it more clearly when I just take everything off here. And yeah, all these wicks over here, it is approaching kind of a wiki zone, I guess, right? So that's 99.5. And then above that, we have the 102.07. So we are also approaching more and more resistance for Bitcoin, but we like to see this break of structure. Did not even need to go back down to the 91,000. So we are looking better and better. But Bitcoin, yeah, I don't know if it has too much room to go higher, but we'll see if it can break this 102, 100,000 barrier soon.
I'm so excited to see that. Looks like the coastline of the United States.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's Florida down
There's
there.
Florida, right? Yeah.
We're so happy to get out of Florida, let me tell you. So yeah, let me show my Bitcoin chart because I'm very excited about that. Okay, here's my Bitcoin chart. So here's Florida. Looking over here at the retracement from the from down here at the 49,577 low to the 109,356 all-time high. And then it went back down here to this 382. And the exciting thing was when I was posting the last couple of days that we were at 86 again. Matt's and Cat's very important, 786. We are above it, and now it's running up. I think it's going to test the previous all-time high and then maybe get set back down to it to test at a support again. So this is my theory. It's only a theory until it's proven. That will get to 109,970, just slightly higher, and then it's going to back and test 563 again, or 96,536 is what I came up with these fibs, and then move on to higher highs for reals. My larger degree chart, 109 back to 75,000 takes us to the 2382 at 179,832 is my Bitcoin top, though it could melt up in the end even past that. But that's my minimum target for Bitcoin, 100, almost 190,000. And then let me just do HIMS real quick because that one's kind of sailing. I had HIMS and HIMZ, and I sold my little positions this morning because I looked at this chart and I was telling Matt I had my wave one up here and my wave two down here, and it didn't quite make sense. But when I just decided to discard this wick, and I started my one here and my two there, it made a lot more sense. And it looks like it went. Oh, sorry, my little fibs are way over here. It went to the 764, back to the 50%, to the 150%. I think it's going to come back to the 100% down here at 46.17 next for HIMS, and then go on to do the larger degree chart, then does a 764 up to 6801, and then back down to 4527 for the 382. So yeah, that's what I'm looking to ride this up again in HIMZ for double the gains. HIMS is going to go up, if I'm right, about 48%. And so that's almost, that's over 90% in HIMZ is what I'm looking for. So there you go. I'm out of HIMS until we get to close to 46.17. And the confluence that I like is that brings us back to the brings price back down to the Bollinger Band. Where are you? Right there? Yeah, here's where the top of the monthly Bollinger Band is right about here, 45.76. Okay, so there. I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell you about HIMS, right? In case your finger was on the sell button. I sold, and I'll do Tesla, and then
Yeah,
Matt, you want to do Tesla after that?
I just have
Oh,
a quick HIMS chart too. So
please go right
with
ahead.
my HIMS here, we can see that I just wanted to show the daily chart really quickly. So we got pretty close to getting to these previous highs over here before it started to collapse, right? So I think that is kind of a resistance zone here on linear scale, and also the 54.25 is going to be a resistance as well. But it did break the cloud yesterday, and pre-market is still above it. So I think if we watch day-over-day price action, if it can stabilize on top of the cloud, then perhaps it can continue higher. But if it starts to close daily candles back inside the daily cloud, maybe around 48.50, then yeah, I think it could actually start to retest lower levels into the 40s again, lower 40s. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this, but this is a positive development for HIMS. It's a very volatile stock. So yeah, trading in and out is kind of like a trader's dream because
Oh yeah.
often breaks these it often breaks these levels, and I could easily see it maybe even retrace back to like this zone right here where it was like a previous important resistance zone, and that's really around $45. So I'm not too I'm not too bullish after this huge move, simply for the fact that there is a lot of resistance right here. So it could take some time to break out, but what it's doing right now, pre-market, is just normal after a massive move.
I'm really excited about. I made so much money this last week on HIMZ. It's been great. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was going to do Tesla. TSLA. Oh, no, I already had one ready here. So Tesla. Doop, doop. Same chart after going up to from 130. No, that's not right. Right here from the 214. Pull you way over here. I can't read it. From the 214.25 low, retracing back to the all-time high of 488.54. I'm just looking for this 382.236.618. That's what I got here, 382.236.618. So 319.03 next, and you can see on the daily chart, market sell orders waiting up there around 319. And also the cloud, the Ichimoku cloud itself pretty much agrees with this idea. That would go maybe up to 319 to just wick out of the top of the cloud on the daily, but then get knocked back down into it, and then break out, and yeah, 429.84, and there's already so yeah, I really like the way this ABC is looking right now. Yeah, and after we get the AB confirmed, I'll do a Fibonacci extension projection, and we'll see what the B to C could look like. And then longer term, I see Tesla going to like yada yada 600 or 700, and then after that, like 1,000 or 1,100 after that for the wave 3s and 5. How about you, Matt? How about your Tesla?
I mean, the 50-week moving average is all I really care about for Tesla, and right now it's not really doing anything. So it's 281, I think, and it's just stuck underneath it. So as long as it closes below it on Friday, or if it does close below it on Friday, it's just stuck. But if it can close back above it
Yep.
on Friday, then I think it's good to go. So yeah,
This is it right here. Blue
that's
line is the
basically
moving average 50 on the weekly.
yeah.
Yeah, we're still just under it. So yeah, it needs to close the week above 282-ish. 283 would be great. All right, we teased Palantir, so we better talk about that as part of what we're covering in the show. So yeah, Palantir, I did from the its all-time low of $5.92. It was never been lower than that, to the previous all-time high. Now we've got a new all-time high, but the 125.41 down to the April 7th. No, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, April 7th low of 65.40. I've got these extension fibs on the right, and I think it really wants to go to the 764 because it already blew past the 236. It didn't go 382, 236. It blew through that fib extension up to the 50% was resistance, but I think it wants to keep going because it didn't drop through the 382. I think you go to 764, then maybe we see some crazy volatility that brings it back down to the 382, or it could do 50% like HIMS did, but yeah. And then overall, 1382 takes it to 230, and my wave 5 takes up to $350. So just from our prices right now in PLTR to the 764 is about 40% higher. You could get 80% if you went into PTIR, is the 2x ETF of Palantir. There you go. That's my.
Yeah, let me pull up my Palantir chart here. Oh, I see people are asking about Google's up too. So let's focus on one at a time. And my Palantir, we can see that price is stabilizing on top of that 104.21. So I mentioned on Friday last week that 114 was a likely zone to kind of hold around for the week, and so that's really what I'm looking at, is around that 114 zone to stabilize above. I would love this to not be a bearish engulfing candle, because if it did, then it would just maybe go back to the 104, maybe wick below to the lower levels. But right now it's on track to stay inside of last week's candle, so it's not engulfing anything right now. So I would just like to see that 114 kind of stabilize in that zone, and if so, then we can trend higher and higher and higher. So Palantir still looks fine. Still, there's lots and lots of support in this 104 to 108 zone, and the reason why is, yes, it's the 104 is the 1.414 log scale fib, but it's also 108 is the 2.618 linear scale 108.23. So it already back tested that perfectly and it held. So there's so much support there, and I would love to see both of those hold, and even better yet, close above 114. So great developments for Palantir. Super bullish stock. I would not be scared of it at all. And actually, I did just want to address Google real quick, since there was that news yesterday. And Google, as long as it stays above the 2021 highs, 150, 155, and I mentioned this in my Patreon yesterday, like anything above 150, I think it's okay, right? This is the high back in February 2022 and kind of the high back in November 2021. So yeah, stay above that. I think it's fine, right? It doesn't have any danger of collapsing. because this is a very important zone. It's been maintaining that zone basically for a while, except for a couple of candles that closed underneath it. But even when you put on the Ichimoku and the SMAs down here too, we can see that, yes, it is losing the cloud. It is losing the conversion line and the 100. So this could be kind of like a scary bearish close below a lot of important support, right? If it closes under 156. But I think the important thing is watching this 151. And if it starts to close below it on weekly candles, then I think it's going lower. And even the 200 is down there at 137. But if it can stabilize above this 151, it's got a chance to break all this resistance above once again. So that's the main focus for me, 151.55.
Well, let's see. One of the things that's supposed to be announced in the Trump's UK deal is that they got a tax break for tech companies in the UK, and Google's a tech company. I don't think the news is going to be that bad overall. If you take a look at my chart here, Matt, I just want to show off Google real quick. Thanks. So here's my larger degree 1-2. Basically, I went back to $14.05 to the 151.17 high Matt just mentioned as the previous all-time high back in 2022 to this $83.13 low. So here's your 1-2, and we're in wave 3, and we got a nice 1-2 out of that whole December to we had beginning of this year, and it went to more than the 7.8 right to the 3.82, but that's fine. I don't think it's got to go down to 135.51. I think April 7th pretty much knocked everything on its butt that as far as it's going to go. So yeah, I think Google, it's a buying opportunity. You could put a stop below 144 maybe. But from here, I think it's a buying to go to the 1382 overall next for 272.63. Again, I don't trade Google because it's kind of too slow moving, big and slow moving for me. But that is 79% higher from where prices. I'm sorry, that's where it closed yesterday on the 8-hour chart, and then back to the weekly chart. 70, yeah, that's still about 80% from here to the 1382 for the wave 3 top. There, Google, not that scary. When you look at it like from the whole lifetime of it, it's just a 1-2, 1-2. All right. Have we hit all the? Now we can do the requests. Is that right?
Yeah, well, we were doing request at the same time. So I got sell H.
I know we were kind of going back and forth. I'm still excited to tell people. But go ahead, you do yours.
Yeah, no problem. I got sell H on deck. There's also that ISOU as well that I think we talked about yesterday, maybe. But yeah, sell H, we can see that it went back down after earnings to go back to touch the conversion line as support. So I think what is happening here is very, very obvious, right? It held a very important support zone. It broke out to the 200-week moving average and the 702, got rejected, came back down to the conversion line. This is super normal and a part of a correction, or a part of a reversal of the downtrend, I should say. And now we have the potential to stabilize in this $32 to $30 zone right here, because the baseline is also down there at $30. So I think we're going to see some stabilization here, but I don't know if we're going to break above resistance anytime soon, because there's a lot, right? There's the 50-week, there's the 200-week, there's the 702, and then you're going to have the weekly cloud pretty soon here, guys. So that's going to be in the weeks to come. So I don't know if it's really ready to break inside the cloud just yet. So I think we could just be drifting sideways to down right now. The true opportunity was around that $22 zone, $24 zone down there. And once that held, it just skyrocketed up to basically the 38 zone up here, 39. And then now it's retracing a little bit. So I think it's range bound for probably some time, maybe weeks. And then after it starts to get maybe closer to June or so, then perhaps it can start to get inside the cloud and go higher. But patience with this one, because there's a lot of resistance above, and we can't get any more bullish until 38 really gets broken. That's what I see.
I'm ready to double team CELH as well. I've got my long wave view of it. Thanks, Matt. So after topping out at 99.62 and then getting this April 7th low of 21.10, and I just took this back to the beginning of its previous wave 2 bottom. So I do this a lot with some of these charts, from the previous wave 2 bottom to the top, and then my 1, 2, and it gives me these fib extensions on the right, and just to the 382 is 54.13. For some reason, I'm projecting this to the 764. So I don't have anything to back that up with just yet. But if we look at the 0 to 100% retrace from the April 7th low, we got past the 11.4 boss, and it failed to get over the 23.6 fib, but it should get over it next. So your next move to the 382 retracement of 5109 would be about 42% higher. Let me go to the 8-hour chart. I always work it here. No, that's where we're at. Yeah, so about 40% higher to the 382 retracement. Then it goes back to the 236 maybe, and then on to the it doesn't show up on this chart. Sorry, I've got some things are hidden on different time scales. Yeah, and then to next. Once it does the AB, then I'll do a better projection. I don't know. I had a feeling about Celsius for some reason. I think because of the way the waves went in the past, which would be 141% higher from where price is right now. All right. So again, like Matt said, it could take a while. You can see the numbers down here. That's 2026, 2027. Though my charts don't predict timing, this has enough symmetry time to look like it might be accurate. So yeah, 141%, over the next year and a half. What is IS?
Very nice.
ISOU. Oh, ISO energy. Did we just do? Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah, I think we talked about it yesterday.
This one's like a super new one. Why don't I have a chart for it?
Oh, maybe
Did we just say?
I don't know. I thought it looked familiar. Maybe
no. This is
else.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's too. It's too.
Well,
new.
This one's it's too new to tell. The best I could do is do a retracement from that top, this bottom. Now let's just stick with let's throw that one out, and then I have to reverse it. First off, what kind of volume? This is really low volume. I wouldn't trade this. I'd stay away from this. But if it was going to ABC up, 382, 23618. There you go. Longer term, maybe it gets back to 829, but it's going to have to fight its way past 687 to get to 741 next. But it's got really low trading volumes. This is like a teeny thing. Matt's got a really good Nike chart. What? Am I on the wrong? No, that's the right one.
Yeah, I got a good Nike chart.
Oh, here they are.
Let me pull it up. Actually, before I pull up Nike, I just wanted to talk about QBTS because somebody brought it up in the X chat, and it's breaking out above levels pre-market, like 883. So QBTS is actually on the move again. But again, this is a perfect example of nobody wants to talk about it when it's consolidating above the baseline, above this 50% fib for months, right? They don't want to talk about it here, but they want to talk about it after it breaks out. So this is a perfect example of a breakout getting rejected at a very important fib level, going back to retest a major support zone and holding, right? This is kind of the time you want to really pay attention to it. And especially just yesterday, it was back testing that 50% level again, right? It came very, very close just yesterday, 681, but nobody wanted it, and now it's breaking out. So yes, it does have potential to continue higher now, but I don't like to chase on these. But if it did come back down to maybe the 830s, maybe the 820s down here, possibly if it can stabilize above there, then that could be good to go higher. But we kind of need to wait for a weekly candle close for confirmation with this one to see if it actually wants to stay above that 822 tomorrow. So it could just be a wick and close below. So we don't have confirmation to break out just yet. Let's wait for that weekly candle close tomorrow. But this is very good development for continuation higher regardless. So with that, we'll go to Nike.
Yeah. No, wait. Let me show my QBTS chart, and then I'll show my Niki, and then you show your Nike. We're gonna go back and forth here.
Okay.
So my QBTS, I love QBTS. Remember how hot Quantum was just a little while ago? It's gonna be hot again. So I've got 4% of my account riding on QBTS. My cost basis is down here at 735. I'm very happy that we're over $1 higher than that. And overall, it did more than 764, uh, then lower than 382. But I'm looking for the 1382 next. So 1716 is my next. Well, it's the all of the wave. This is the heart of the wave 3 now, and so it could test back down to 717 again. I'm not sure if it'll triangle like this or if it'll just keep going. Prices now, the top of my third wave is 93% higher for QBTS, and this one's a lot. This is a lot faster than say a Google or CLSK. Um, Nike, my Nike chart is a retrace after all that droppage. Oh, why is it so? Hang on, maybe it's my 8-hour chart. There we go, 8-hour chart. All right, so after hitting a low of 50.89, I'm just retracing it back to this high up here at 92.90. I could have picked any one I wanted, but I like because the market seems to be looking at it too. See how my ABCs kind of line up more or less with these sell order blocks. So the 382 is 66.94. Back to the 236 is 60.80, and 618 is 76.85. That's exactly the same as the last time we talked about Nike. How about you, Matt? And you can see on the 8-hour chart, we're just tippled underneath the MA75. It's just resistance still. Once it flips over that, then it'll be in bullish mode for sure. All right, Matt, your turn.
Yeah, my Nike is not very good. The chart, I still don't like it, but I found a
Oh
reason why it's holding
no!
this level. I found a reason why it's holding this zone here at the the 55, and it's this 2.618. And if you go back in time, it's actually the fib from the 1997 high to the 2000 low. So if you just use that fib extension, it's actually a reason why it's holding that level. But
Mm.
you know what? This is the monthly candles. It broke below the 200-month moving average. It broke below all kinds of support. And this is something that is going to probably take a very long time to recover. And it looks like, yes, it has potential to stabilize above this 55 finally, right? I mean, if it doesn't stabilize above it, then it's going back to the 30s, guys. So that's basically one way to look at it. But yeah, it's just everything above is resistance on the monthly chart. I mean, it can easily retrace back to the 65, maybe even the 71. But I still have the view that it's dead money, right? I don't see anything exciting about this chart because even if it does something like this, it could just stay in this little wedge for years, right? For until like 2027 or even longer until it's really ready to break out. It could just stay there for a long, long time. So there's really no point in anybody owning Nike, in my opinion. I just think it seems like a dying brand to me, and the chart has been screaming that since the top back in 2021. It's just really hasn't gotten any momentum, and it keeps on making lower lows. But yeah, if you are interested in it, 55.22, it's got to hold, right? If not, it's going lower.
Right. Golden Parachute said VX, please. Do you want the VX1 exclamation point or the VIX? I've got VX. Yeah, I'm not interested in Nike either. It's kind of, I'll just put this out anyway. Matt, if you show my screen for a second. Thanks. Turtle Trading System is the guy that makes the MCDX Plus, and he had this very good tip: stocks on days when the VX1 bang is bullish. I wouldn't say it's necessarily bullish today. Nope. It's definitely in a day. It's just kind of interesting to see this weekly chart where it's been trending up over, I don't know, the last decade, but the baseline trends up, not the whole thing. Anyway, I don't know. Golden Parachute, just let me know which VX you meant, because if you're talking about this on a short term, It's hard to do these futures. I don't know. It seems like it just it seems like it's gonna try to make a new lower low. It's just on a downtrend, is all I can tell you overall. GRAL, we did do this one yesterday, didn't we? GRAL, yeah. Oh yeah, this is the one I did. I did this one for the first time ever. So nothing's really changed about it from yesterday. It's a little higher. I'm looking for it's in the heart of its third wave now. It's going to 8404 next for the 123.6 fib extension after completing a 382236. So that would take it approximately 135% higher from where price is right now. There you go, GRAL. I like it. IREN looks good. EUSE, please. What's wrong with my mic? I don't know.
I think your mic is fine.
IONQ. Maybe it's breaking up on their end. Okay, let me do EUSE real quick. Let's see. I think EUSE might have topped out yesterday for the 618. Well, no. Let's see. Overall, it's going to 1052 next. But I'm trying to figure out how it's going to get there. And I said I was going to do this and I didn't do it. I said I was going to do. Matt, why don't you do another chart? Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, I have EOSC. So my EOS yeah, my EOS it hit the it got close, I should say, to the 618, the 704. It got up to 667 yesterday, and the reason why I didn't get there is because of this little wick right here is basically 664, and it just wicked a tiny bit above that 664 to 667. So it's still kind of like a double top range right now. Yes, it is breaking above my arc. Yes, it is breaking above my purple angle here, but so far the weekly candle is not closed yet, so we don't know if it's actually going to close above both. So we would need it to close really above both would be around 615, and that's what I'm looking at right here. And if it did close at 615, this would be the highest weekly candle close since way back here, since 2021. So this would be a good development, right? Because these candles did not close that high. They were just wicks above. So closing above those wicks is actually a very important step. So I'll be watching that tomorrow. Above 615, 620. I want to see that. And if so, I think it goes higher. But right now, it's kind of like a little tricky double top. And yeah, everything's a double top until it breaks out. So I'm not concerned about double tops at all. Basically, I just want to see levels. And I want to see this weekly candle body candle close above these wicks. That's what I want to see. And above my arc. 615.
All right, show my chart, Matt, and guys, get your screenshot ready. Let me just push this out to 500 and a little bit more. Okay, perfect. So what I'm looking at is basically from down here to the where'd it go? Shoot, I just did a short here. This is my 1, 2 for purposes of this fib extension. Sorry, from the bottom here, 1, 2. It did 764. So I think it wants to pull back to 580 next. In other words, this minor wave one is done. It's, I believe, the 382. Then 1382 it takes it to 831. Then 735 for the 100% retrace. And then to 2382 would be take it to 1082, which lines up pretty close to this wave 3 target that I hit here on the larger degree chart. So there you go. Yeah, this is what I think we're looking at next.
All right.
So do look for
very noise. All right, I got CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike. Yeah. Okay, let me pull this up. So my CRWD, yeah, it broke out, right? Last couple of weeks, it was back down in the 360s, 370s, like really testing this support zone, the 886 and the conversion baseline, but it just broke out from there and is back at previous highs. So is it ready to break out yet? I'm not sure, right? It is kind of also one of those double top kind of things, right? Where it did get pretty close to February highs, but got rejected. So I would say that means we're range bound between the 398 and the 450s, right? That's basically what we're range bound between. And if it can break above those 450s right here, then we can see the 1.272 next at 479. So good chart, right? It broke back above this 2024 high back in July. So I think that's a good foundation to stabilize on top of. So as long as 398 holds, I think it'll go higher.
Very cool. I've got
And do one more
IONQ.
tracker. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I got to go after that.
Okay. I got IONQ here, which we just talked about yesterday, it feels like. And yesterday there was 15.96% left to go, like a 16% gain left. Now it's more like there's a 4.4%. Wait, this should go to right here. There's about 5% left before it's going to hit the 382 as resistance. I don't know. I mean, it could go up to the 618. In fact, look, there's another sell order block ready at the 6 spaces right there. If it gets more than halfway between the 382 at 33.31 and the 50% at 38.10, around 35.80, if it gets that high, then look for 38.10 next, then look for 42.89 as resistance, and then I'll tell you where it's going to come back down after that. If it goes to the 618, then it does come back all the way down potentially to the 236 at 27.39. If it gets to the 764, then I'll move this support up to the 382. So let's just watch and see what happens next. Can it get above 33.31 next or not? If it doesn't, it's going to get sent back to 27.39. There you go. There's my IONQ. I'm sorry we didn't have time to do all the requests today, but we got a bunch of them. Yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow and we'll do it again.
See somebody put about Coinbase. They bought Deribit. They bought Deribit for $2.9 billion, and Deribit is a derivatives exchange specializing in options, futures, and perpetual swaps for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and other cryptocurrencies, with USDC often as the collateral. So that's actually good for more fee income and more derivative offerings for Coinbase. So yeah, that could be another catalyst indeed for price to continue going higher. Yeah, Coinbase earnings tonight. Let's watch it, right? Let's see if this 210 zone can get broken as resistance. But with that said, guys, everything is kind of still approaching resistance from Tesla to SPY to QQQ. So let's not get too excited. Even Bitcoin as well. Let's see if resistance can break by tomorrow.
Yeah, I cheated and I snuck in Big Bear AI, which I think is a great buy still because it's still below the 11.4%. You can get a great price on it now, and it's going to turn $4.55 into support later, at least at minimum. So I think it could go 91% higher to $5.91 next. So yeah, big. I'm in it. I got a cost basis a little higher at the 11.4 actually at 341 is my cost basis. So I'm looking to get my money back and then some. All right, sorry guys, we got to let Matt go, but we'll be back tomorrow. Same
Yes.
Matt time, Matt channel.
Yes. See you tomorrow, guys.
All right. See you, Mattsby.